What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of VCCLive. I'm Kevin Skipper, and these are our co-hosts, Jay DeLuco, Nick Green, and Matt Coley. I am a little bit sick today, so starting to get cold, and I am going to probably not talk a whole lot. That's a lie. I probably will still talk a whole lot, but it just might not be that enthusiastic. So,
a lot of heavy sighing.
Yep.
That beard of yours is definitely filling in nicely.
Yep, it's coming along. I'm deciding if I want to keep it or trim it. For right now, I'm just going to keep it because you know why? It's easy.
I like it.
It's easier to keep it than it is to try to trim it. So
definitely makes you look more badass.
Yeah.
Did you say fat
Need
ass?
a bike.
Badass.
Need a motorcycle.
Yeah, you need a
fat ass.
motorcycle. Sure. Yeah, like I'm one to talk. Look at these breasts.
But so anyway, how's things going, guys? How was your New Year's? What did you guys do? Did you have fun? I mean, I went to, I'll just tell you briefly, went to North Carolina for a few days. It was cold the first few days and it kind of moderate the last few days, but it was nice, secluded. Kind of freaked me out not having cell service, but luckily one of the guys with us, I have AT&T, and I'm shocked because I usually have service everywhere, but I did not have any at the top of this mountain in the middle of nowhere. But he had Verizon and had decent service, so we were able to do a Wi-Fi hotspot. But I tell you what, I just really grown accustomed to technology and being connected, so it kind of sucked without it. But
I've done that before. It is like you feel like, yeah, it's it's an uncomfortable feeling at first, but then it's nice. Like we went out to this cabin one time and stayed 3 days, and once you don't have that, connectivity aspect, you really can relax.
Well, my guy, the guy, my boys stayed with my mom here at our house, and I don't like not at least being able to take a phone call if like something happens.
Yeah, that's true.
But,
yeah, that's my biggest fear is that something awful's going to happen and no one can get a hold of me.
and you're out dicking around having a good time.
Sorry, your grandma's in the hospital, and I'm like,
how did the species survive? How did the species survive for 500 years?
I know.
Landlines. Landlines. That's it.
Anyway, that was my New Year's. We had a great time with great friends, and now we're back to the grind in 2017. How about you, Jay? What'd you do? Anything good?
What did I do for New Year's? I went to see my brother's band play right down the street, which was convenient. And they let me vape inside, so I gave them a $20 tip.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that at? Massachusetts?
Like I said, right down the street from me. I don't want people to know where the hell I live.
That's true.
In
the
New
paparazzi
England.
might.
Come on, Jay,
swarm
just
your
tell
house.
us. I want to wear your skin.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would really do anything. I mean, not to discredit your popularity, Jay. There was a guy on Instagram not too long ago who started an Instagram account just to post my address. And he kept spamming all of my pictures like, I posted Grim Green's address, I posted Grim Green's address, and he ended up getting like a couple hundred followers, and his whole feed was just my address over and over again. Over and over again.
It is creepy though, because there are
show up?
like some of
No.
Was it your actual
Nothing.
address?
It was. He had my real address.
There's some really like creepy stories out there though of YouTubers like that have had people come break in or like a lot of like the big gamers, like PewDiePie even he has a gun and talks about how people are like showing up at his house at all hours of the day and stuff.
Wow.
It's
Well,
freaky.
that's a different level of like internet famous though.
Yeah, you got to be really popular for that.
Yeah.
Not like us.
Not like us. Or not. Well, I can't put myself even in the same basket with you guys. So
Wow, it is weird. I popped up the screen so I could watch like the chat, but we're delayed. It is so freaky. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to close that, and you people with two monitors can tell us what people are saying because it's too weird.
people are saying things.
How about you, Matt? What's up? What'd you do? Do you have any good stories?
I stayed at home with Owen. Oh, me and Owen's mom, we kind of like swapped back and forth with holidays, and so it was my turn to have him on New Year's, and so we just hung out, did kid stuff, watch kid movies,
Vanessa
killing the
went out
game.
partying.
Just killing the game. Just killing the game.
Killing the dad game.
I friggin' injured myself on New Year's Eve.
What'd you do?
I slipped and fell. We were hanging out. We had some friends over, and we're just being mellow and drinking. And I was drinking a lot of bourbon, and I didn't realize. I don't even remember the name, the brand of it. It's something Casey got in the mail, and I didn't realize it was It was like 100 proof bourbon.
Wow.
And I'm drinking like cups of it, like normal bourbon. And so I go outside right after midnight to walk the dog, and I slipped in our lobby because it was raining, and I sprained my ankle. I've been walking around with a cane for the last like 5 days.
Nick had a fall.
I did. And
Okay.
I hate it because it's so ironic because I grew up in Lake Tahoe where it snows and is icy constantly, and I never once slipped and fell and hurt myself. But then I moved to Southern California. It rains one day, and I slip and hurt my ankle.
I'm laughing
Because you weren't expecting it.
Yeah, exactly. I let my guard down.
Like
No
here,
more.
here we have ice outside. Like
I wanna get some of that
nice,
bourbon.
so carefully.
Did you feel the pain, or were you anesthetized?
Oh no, I was really drunk, but I felt the pain right away. I heard it. I heard like an audible popping sound come from my ankle.
Ugh.
And there was a delivery guy delivering a pizza to the apartment building, and he's holding the elevator for me. He's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm great." And I can't walk. I'm like limping over to the elevator.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Too bad one of those people with your address didn't show up then to help you up the stairs or the elevator.
Yeah, seriously. Where were they then?
Where are you now when I need you?
Yeah, where are you now?
The,
Like
bright
Justin
side,
Bieber says.
the bright side is there's some sick canes.
Like
out
some sort of demented,
Yeah.
misery movie knockoff.
I like Matt's bright side.
You need to get a
Yeah,
There's some
custom Grim
canes out
Green
there,
cane.
some badass canes.
I do need a dope cane. I have like a prescription medical cane that's like adjustable, you know?
Yeah.
It's nothing cool. It's not like I want like a Star Wars cane.
Well, Matt was telling us that he's been into knives lately, getting into knives, so he's probably thinking of a cane with a knife that you can pull out.
Oh yeah, there's
in-
those.
in-
Yeah, knife cane.
In chat, they're also dying to know what this bourbon was. If it was 100 proofer, it's actually kind of limiting. Like we could
I
probably
can't,
narrow it down.
If you hang on like 2 seconds, I'll go grab the bottle.
I'm
And I'll be
guessing
right back, and I'll
they're
get.
Well, hang.
He just doesn't want to tell the truth that it was wine coolers.
I just it's a lot of effort for me to limp to my bar and then limp back. But for this show and for you, Jay, I will do that. I'll go look at the bottle.
It's not for me. It's for the fans.
It's for the fans
Yeah.
of VCC Live. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna guess it's either Four Roses single barrel or some sort of bottle and bond.
Are you wearing,
That's my guess.
Are you wearing a vaping shirt, Jay?
No, I'm actually wearing a Beatles shirt.
Oh, Beatles.
Yeah, my
I
brother
found
got
this-
this for me for Christmas a couple years ago, and it still
I'm
fits.
sneezing. I told you guys I'm sorry I'm getting sick, so you have to excuse the sneezing. But I found this in my I have a bunch of vape shirts from the VCC events, and this is one that I got probably a year and a half or 2 years ago from Cosmic Fog, and I had so many that I haven't worn them, so I broke it out for today. I noticed Matt's got a vapor style on.
Yeah, this shirt's like 3 years old now.
And Nick's rocking the flannel.
Oh, it's Smooth Ambler,
Yeah, smooth. Where's my camera? Smooth Ambler
10-year.
Gold.
That's-
That's how much I drank.
Holy
Well,
cow.
listen to me very carefully, Nick. That's been discontinued, and it's highly, highly sought after. So
Okay,
savor that.
I just opened it and started pouring myself cups of bourbon.
That's
I
like
li-
an $80 bottle of bourbon. Yeah.
I like it on the rocks, so I just pour. Usually it's Bullet. I like Bullet bourbon, and I just put it on the rocks and I sip it. And I was doing that with this, but evidently I drank quite a bit of it. Old Scout 10
Yep.
from
We should
Smooth
call it-
Ambler.
Yeah,
Bum
they're a
ankle.
great company. They're funny. They source all their stuff. Like they don't actually make anything themselves, but they select barrels from mostly from Midwest grain products. But
Oh.
they're hugely popular, mostly because they don't hide that fact. You know, they tell everybody exactly what's in the bottle. So it's they're a very cool company.
Yeah. I mean, it was really good.
Yes, it's very good stuff.
It was very good.
Well, do we have any thing vaping to talk about?
I don't think I've even
just before
vaped since we started.
nothing that's happened in the last week. I don't think that anyone.
No, it's kind of like everything just stops, for.
Yeah.
Well, there was something.
I know everyone everyone heard the FDA postpone the registration of December 31st, and they also postponed just before the new year the was it the ingredients listing requirement?
Oh yeah, that was supposed to be in February, right?
I think they pushed that by 6 months as well. So
well, they would have to if you can't if you don't have to register until June, then why would you have to supply them with an ingredient list before then?
Yeah, so I think that they're again that was inevitable. Like you just said, Jay, it was inevitable. I mean, there's no reason to do that.
Well, I actually, this shows how cutting edge I am. Over the last week or two, I bought a Provari Radius.
Old school.
Yeah, with a K-Fun V4. I got the P3 thread going on.
K-Fun V4.
Yeah.
I like those. I haven't.
Wow.
Yeah, I have one and I haven't used it in a long time. Just don't like the, building or whatever. I got this IPv8. I don't know, a month ago or so.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for this stuff to start peeling off. I know it's going to happen eventually, but it's been pretty good so far. One of the things I don't like about it, not that we don't really talk about products on this show ever, but I'm just going to tell you this since it's on my mind. There's no way to lock the power adjustment. And I will forget to push it 3 times and lock it and put it in my pocket or something, and I'll go to take a vape and it's at 200 and something watts, and that drives me insane because you can burn a coil up quickly that way. And they should have something where you press and hold both, and it just locks the power in or some setting. But other than that, I like it. It's been good. I only run 10 watts with the Nautilus, but
so you get 4 days worth of battery life running it at 10 watts.
Probably 2, honestly.
Yeah,
I get about two in this. I got a 3000 LG battery in here. I run it at 15 watts. I get about 2 days.
It does have 2 batteries. Maybe that's why. But anyway, what did you say, Nick? You said there was something that you found that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I saw this. We actually just talked about this on the podcast, but so it's recycled news, but it's no big deal. It's still news. Our good friend Senator Blumenthal, did anybody else see this? Senator Blumenthal urging all airlines to ban all vape gear from all U.S. planes.
Again?
There was an article. Yeah, there was an article. From thehill.com of Senator Blumenthal says he sent letters to Alaska Airlines, Allegiant Air, basically every airline. He said American Airlines flight had to make an emergency landing because an electronic cigarette was found caught fire mid-flight. And Blumenthal is also urging the Food and Drug Administration to issue a recall on all e-cigarette brands that have a history of exploding. Whatever that could possibly mean. Right. It kind of just shows how out of touch Blumenthal is with reality.
Devices aren't even registered yet. The FDA can't even track that. They wouldn't know where to start. Yeah.
And even if they were registered, there's no way to track that because it's not. I mean, it's batteries.
He's probably just pandering to his constituents. I don't think that it's anything that we need to really worry about. He
gets all his bills get laughed out.
Yeah.
Good. They can't do anything. I mean, it's like when there was people were going through that whole Samsung thing where those were blowing up, they just made everyone turn them off. You know what I'm saying? On planes, they couldn't just say, "Hey, you can't bring it on."
Yeah. Recently, and on my last flight, they said that the Samsung Galaxy 7 was banned. You had
really?
Yeah, you had to give it to the air hostess before you boarded if you had one on you.
Crazy.
Yeah, they were confiscating them. I don't think anybody actually had one, but they were confiscating them as you got on the plane.
Yeah, before, like the last time I flew was like in October, and then they were just making everyone turn them off. But they must have had more and more issues.
Yeah, I mean,
That
I have
scares
no
those
idea.
things scare me a lot more than mods.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was telling Ruby that a plastic battery case will solve all of these problems. I mean, 100% of these problems. And
Yeah.
it's like their knee-jerk reaction. It's like one incident, ban it.
Yeah.
We should
Right.
ban them. Like, what? Like, that's not a rational thing to do.
It's
Like,
oxymoronic
at all.
to think that a
Like,
politician.
let's do a
rational.
recall on every car that has a tendency to crash. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
They've done that though.
Well, it would be
Yeah.
nice if someone in the vape community that's at least pro vaping did like research and look for any figure out exactly what's going on. If it's always mechanical mods, obviously a lot of times it's batteries outside of mods. But I have heard of a few that were in a regulated mod. But I mean, I don't know that for sure. That could just be hearsay. But
No,
it'd be
we-
nice
we
to
used
see
to
if there's any patterns, you know.
We used to see that earlier on, 2-3 years ago, where people would, plug their egos into their iPads or whatever to charge them.
Yeah.
There was that one bartender where all of a sudden, her little stick bat just blew up.
Right.
But that stuff like that hasn't happened in a while that I've seen.
Yeah. It's mostly just battery. I mean, from what I've seen, it's mostly just mishandling batteries.
You can tell
Because
because the
people don't know
videos are of people with flat brim hats and sleeve tattoos.
And flannel
Their,
shirts.
their pocket just explodes and they start dancing around like an asshole.
Yeah.
Well, it's like their mech. Yeah, their mech is like firing in their pocket or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But or it's a lipo, because a few of them I've seen videos of, and it looks like way worse than I've vented IMR batteries before, and it's not that bad. I mean, it sucks, but it's not like sparks and the things like flying up. But a few of the videos, it looks like it was, like a mini bomb. I'm wondering if some of the lipo mods.
I know we harp on this quite a bit, or at least I do, but I think if we can keep people in perspective, batteries might explode because of user error. They might even explode or vent or cause a fire because of manufacturing error. Haven't heard of anyone yet dying because of a venting battery or an exploding battery. Has it caused some injuries? A couple. Yeah. 1,400 people will die in this 24-hour period in the United States alone because of smoking combustible tobacco. Put that in perspective with a possible maybe injury.
Yep.
So.
Yeah. It's perspective. And
It's
just like
all that
anything
shit
else.
gets exaggerated. Like, there was one I was reading about a couple years ago where they're like, oh, the e-cig shot down this man's throat and exploded in his lungs. And I'm like, no,
What?
that's not a thing. They just get so, it's so sensationalist. It doesn't sound as good when you're like, well, the battery touched some loose change in his pocket and started smoking.
Yeah.
Like, that's not as an aggressive, a gripping headline as my e-cig exploded in my lungs.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
think the media has become so complacent with the number of people who die because of combustible tobacco that they don't even.
Well,
give a shit
that's not
anymore.
news. That's
It's not news. It's not news
that's
anymore.
not news.
People know.
Yeah. If it bleeds, it leads.
I'm rolling back through the comments just to want to give a few shout outs to people who are saying, hey, we got Mike Vapes in the house. Congrats, Mike Vapes, on hitting your 100,000 subscriber. I saw that recently. So congrats to you, buddy. Thanks for joining us and hanging out
congrats,
tonight.
Mike.
Dope.
Send some of your followers over to StanleyTheViking.com, will you?
Let's see. And I don't know if you see, but Bill Tarling's with us tonight. I did a live video yesterday on Facebook, and Bill was commenting on it a lot. And we were having some back and forth. One of the things that he said, which I actually thought he took from someone else, he didn't. It's actually a quote that he came up with. It says, "It can take 2 years to pass a law. It takes 10 years to change a law. It takes a lifetime to undo the damage done by a bad law." And that's kind of what we've been saying for a while about the states, why you need to get involved in your states and make sure you have an SFA or some sort of smoke-free association or something in your states, because prevention is a lot easier than having them change laws in the future or trying to undo some of the bad legislation. So very good quote by Bill. Thank you, Bill. Appreciate you sharing that with me yesterday. And I told you I was going to put it up for our quote tonight, and I did. So thanks for that. Let's see. Anyone else have any other comments that we might have missed?
Somebody mentioned a ways back that the feds are outlawing or trying to outlaw e-cigs in national parks.
Oh
Yeah, that could be a thing. I know in California you can't really vape anywhere in California, like near parks, near doorways, on the beach.
It's so
Anywhere.
stupid. Like, what is national parks? I mean, you could bring like guns into some national parks.
I think you could
Like
actually
a
open
piece-
carry in national parks.
I mean, I understand the cigarettes because
but
they're worried of
guns
fire.
aren't a
They're worried
tobacco
about
product.
fires. And we've had fires at at Glacier National Park up here before from cigarettes. I understand that, but with e-cigs, there's no.
And there's no way to
sense
police
around it.
that. There's no you can't enforce that.
Well,
How
there's
do
no
you-
waste or anything being thrown into
Yeah.
the park. That's so fucking stupid.
Think of the squirrels, Matt. They
Yeah.
they don't want to inhale your secondhand vapor, no
Save
matter
the
how
squirrel.
dope ass your cloud is.
So
Some
Dave
grizzly
also,
bear might get addicted.
Dave said that I could do it turning my mic up. I'm low compared to the rest of the guys. So I turned it up a little bit. Is that any better, Dave, or anyone listening?
You sound very echoey. You sound like He-Man when he pulls out the sword.
I sound echoey.
It sounds like you have reverb on.
Is that better?
Much better.
Yes.
Okay. Does that sound clearer?
Yes.
Okay. I think I had effects on echo.
I
from
think
when
I had He-Man on.
we were doing karaoke for Christmas, and I used this mixer. So yeah, I was probably rocking some Alice in Chains with echo.
Those poor squirrels might get popcorn lung.
So you're one of those types that you're a karaoke family. That
love-
tells me a lot.
I love singing karaoke.
One of those
Yeah, me
people.
and you sang karaoke in Pittsburgh.
We did
Little-
actually. It was an Alice in Chains song too,
Yeah, impromptu karaoke.
with no mics or anything. It was just a cappella.
Yep.
And we rocked it too. Well, I was a little bit tipsy, so maybe we didn't rock it as much as I thought we did. But
Yeah, probably not. I think somebody filmed it. I think Nick
I
Bissett
think Lane
filmed.
Staley was smiling somewhere, for sure.
Yeah.
Or either that or laughing at us. I don't know which one.
Opium den in the sky.
So yeah, I have the power. Someone says from He-Man. Awesome.
Yep. That's what you sound like.
I can do the echo back up again.
No.
Dave says better now. Cool. So anything? Let's see. I've decided to do something, and I don't even know if I should announce it yet or not, but I'm going to. Why not? So let me go to full monitor and pull up this screen and get off YouTube. I've had an idea to do a magazine.
Ooh.
And I want to get with probably you guys after we're off and not live, but we'll talk about this. But hopefully by March we'll have issue 1 out, and this is kind of just a teaser, so you don't get to see the full picture there. But maybe if anyone in the chat can guess who that is, and the title of the article is going to be "Liar, Liar, Pants on Fire."
Get a free subscription if you guess.
Yep, free 1-year subscription if you guess who that is. In the chat during the live show. So it's called Breathe, and I thought this was a cool way. I was looking up different names of things that we could do. Vape is vaped out, like vaping, everything is taken. Literally, vapor, vaping, vape, blah, blah, everything. And so I was looking for like different words today and came across the phonetic spelling of breathe, and this is how it looks with the long E sound. And I was like, oh, cool. And then George, who works with me, was like, let's take magazine, and put it here for the rest of the H. Anyway, I thought the logo turned out pretty cool. And we're working with InDesign on it. So yeah, if anyone's interested out there in, advertising and helping us get this off the ground so we can get it printed, it's going to be, I guess, a mix between advocacy focused articles and also some fun stuff too. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I'll invest if you put me on the cover.
I'm gonna talk to you and Matt about it, and Jay, seriously, after we get done with the live, if you guys want to hang out for a minute, or we can talk tomorrow.
Thank you for the afterthought.
Yeah, I worked for a magazine and
I did not know
newspaper.
that.
Yeah.
What did you do? Are you good with
Ad
InDesign?
sales and stuff, but I also helped with the layout and like policing ads and stuff around copy and stuff like that.
Very cool. I've written for a couple of the industry magazines over the last 3 years, but I'm going to try to see if we can pull this together and do something different, a little different, maybe a little more serious, but also still fun.
Sexual advocacy. Like,
Sexual advocacy.
well, that's the only way you can sell stuff.
We got to have some boobs in there for sure.
Like
I
you'll
mean,
have like Greg
I've been
Conway
on-
with like a hot babe on his lap.
I've been on Instagram for like 2.5, 3 years with VCC. We got like 2,600 followers, 2,500 followers. I wish I was born a hot chick. I just wasn't.
No. I need to go buy sexualadvocacy.com right now, I think.
It's probably already taken.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
Are you actually checking?
Yeah.
That's funny.
That's how you sell stuff, man. It's all about those babes.
So,
Oh, nope, sexual
we'll
advocacy
probably do
is
some.
not
We'll
taken.
do some.
It's not taken, Nick says. Nick, you can have .com. I want .org.
Sexual advocacy.
Someone got that it's the Surgeon General, Bill and Rob. All right, guys, you get free magazines of the first issue signed by all of us, which means absolutely nothing.
Ship it 4 times across the country, and then eventually you'll get it.
Matt's boobs on the first cover. Interesting.
That would sell well.
Just waxy chest.
Mm-hmm. I got really little, small nips too.
Good.
Anyway, so that's what I've been working on, and also still working on VCCT in Tampa. Obviously, we're trying to get people on board for that. There is now 4 events going on in the month of March. When I announced Tampa, there were 0. So that's always a challenge. But
Yeah, but how many of them are in warm states?
Tampa, VCCT in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah,
March 25th and 26th.
exactly. Buy your tickets now. Get a discount
Yeah, so we got
before anybody else's announces.
Yeah. We're working on it. We'll see what happens with it. Maybe I'm still checking, to see if we can get some of the. I hate calling you guys vape celebrities, vape personalities. I know Nick is going to be traveling between events, so we'll see. But
We'll see. I'm still a firm maybe.
a firm maybe is better than a soft maybe.
That's what my wife says to me every night.
I'm a firm maybe.
Yep.
Matt's got his resting bitch face on again. Look.
I'm
Are you replying to chat?
We're definitely gonna try to come to Tampa. It's always nice going somewhere warm when it's freaking 30 degrees here.
This would be
20
the
degrees here.
latest Tampa one we've done. Usually we do late February, early March, but this is when they had the venue available to do the event. So obviously we have to work around the convention schedule. And
Is it the same event or the same
same venue as last year's Tampa.
same venue as last year? Oh, cool.
With the Florida State Fairgrounds right across from the Seminole Hard Rock Casino off of I-4. It probably will be, I'm guessing, low 80s, so it'll be perfect for if you want to take a trip down to Clearwater or Siesta Key or something like that, which is only about a half an hour from Tampa.
Dope.
Hopefully your ankle's healed by then, Nick.
God, hopefully it's healed within the next 2 weeks. We're going to Vegas on the weekend of the 19th for my girlfriend's birthday, who she's injured too, by the way. And we're going to Vegas with Ruby and Josh, and I want to be able to walk around and gamble and drink and be active. So
You gotta get a pimp cane then, dude.
Get a scooter. Get a scooter.
get a scooter.
Yeah.
I could get a scooter.
Or one of those things where you put one leg up on and walk with the other leg. The other one's just on wheels. Did you go check and see if it was broken by chance, or?
Yeah, I did. I went and got an X-ray done, and it wasn't broken. Thankfully, it honestly feels a lot better today. I can almost take a normal step, but if I put all my weight on it, I just, I crumble to the ground and start sobbing and curl into a ball because it hurts so bad.
Those ankle injuries always take a while too, because you can't. I've had a few foot and ankle injuries, and you can't ever stay off of it, and so just seems like it takes forever to fully heal. It's always a little sore for months.
Yeah. Yep. That's the bummer.
We're not 20 anymore.
No, I haven't been 20 for 20 years.
I'm 40 in March, so thanks for that reminder, Jay. I'm just looking over this link that Bill sent me. He did send me the National Park Service link. I haven't really read it, so I don't really want to go over it live right now, I guess. It's probably a bad idea to try to do that, but we'll look it over and maybe talk about it some more next week.
Are we searching for news? Is that what we're doing?
Well, Bill, we were talking about the national park thing earlier, and Bill said in the chat that he had sent me over the link in Facebook, so I checked it real quick, but it's a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. So I'm not going to try to get through it live without reading it. It's just policies on smoking, and I'm sure it includes electronic cigarettes and vaping as well. But when we've had a chance to dissect it, we'll talk about it a little bit further.
We'll try to get more advocacy stuff next week.
Yeah, this is good. I mean, I just got back on Monday night, and then had to get straight back into working and started the Breathe magazine thing today, working on that. So I haven't had a whole lot of time to research anything. And plus, like Jay said, I don't think really anything's gone on the last couple of weeks. Pretty much everyone from Christmas through New Year's shuts down. I mean, no one's really doing much of anything. So I think the only thing we're waiting on now is, January 20th to get here, the presidential inauguration, and see what happens with regulations.
Well, I think 2017 is definitely going to be interesting. I'm still I know that there's already even hardware going into the States and U.S. companies that is for sure didn't get even soft launched before the 8th, and I feel like that there's no way that the FDA is going to be able to crack down on all of it. They can't even get their shit together with their website. I mean,
so you're seeing products come out now that for a fact.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
a lot of these Chinese companies don't give a shit, and some of the retailers don't either.
I think
it's business as usual, and a lot of them have told me that their lawyers have just said, just freaking keep going with your hardware and see where it goes.
Yeah, I've heard of vape shops who are also like mom and pop e-liquid manufacturers. They're still making e-liquid, and if they're making mixing new flavors and different things like that, then obviously anything that it was not on the market prior to August 8th would technically be against the law. So. I
figured that this would happen. I think the interesting telling part of it will be what will the FDA's response be? And if there's none, then everyone's just going to be like, fuck it. We got to compete with the other people that are still pumping products in. Right. We'll do it too.
Yeah.
So Rob in chat said, are you guys surprised by companies saying fuck it? Or was this something you anticipated but don't plan on participating in? I don't know.
No, I mean, I'm not surprised. I think, honestly, I in some ways, I'm all for it. I mean, especially with the Chinese manufacturers. See what happens. I mean, it helps me. It gives me more stuff to review, obviously.
He said Nick and Ruby touched on this in the podcast, and it really surprised me to hear. So maybe, Nick, more. I'm not really sure what he's talking about. Is he talking about people saying, fuck it, we're putting
out? Like post August 8th, a lot of companies had just said, fuck it. Just keep manufacturing these pieces, keep manufacturing new atomizers or mods or whatever, kind of like August 8th never happened. And like Matt was saying, especially China is just cranking out stuff like I've never seen before. It's like nothing ever happened in China. They're just continuing to crank stuff out. And what Ruby and I were talking about was we don't know how they're going to enforce anything, right? But I personally am not going to take the risk of releasing a new juice line or a new flavor because I'm not really willing to risk my entire livelihood.
Is someone leaving the house?
Who's doing the dishes?
But I do get.
Oh, honey, can you stop that? Yeah. Women these days. She never cleans and then I get on the show and she cleans. She's just trying to make herself look good.
Tell V we said hey.
Everyone says hi.
Seriously. But what we were saying is I'm personally not willing because I don't know how they're going to enforce it or when. I'm not willing to take that risk, to put my livelihood on the line just to release a couple new juice flavors.
Mm-hmm.
or something like that.
I'm
People just said fuck it and
Well, I
kept
think that
going.
it's harder for them to go after like these Chinese manufacturers. But I mean, I guess they would go after like the retailer that's selling that stuff. But
Well,
because Chinese
the FDA regulations,
manufacturers got soft launched just hundreds of products and got a bunch of purchase orders on a ton of different stuff, and now they're just kind of like deciding what to use for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's going to be really difficult for the FDA to figure out what legitimately, came out before, or filled whatever the regulations were, like actually came out before the 8th, or what they're just fibbing about.
Actually, the FDA regulations never affected the Chinese manufacturers anyway. It affected the people who are importing them. So,
well, no, yeah, but
don't
that's
think
what
they
I'm
give the
saying. They're
rat's
being
ass,
sold
honestly.
in the States. They're being sold by U.S. companies.
yeah.
And if one U.S. company does it and nothing happens to them, the next company is going to be like, okay, we got to compete with these guys. We're going to start doing it too. So it'll be very telling, especially with hardware. It's easier to produce, like a U.S. company like Grimm's. You see, okay, he definitely wasn't selling this new line. But with the hardware in the Chinese manufacturers, it's going to be difficult.
But with juice at the same time, there are so many small regional e-liquid manufacturers that don't market, myself included. And I did, when August 8th came, I said, all right, that's it. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm not going to make anything else. No new juices, which is what I got into this business to begin with, was to create new flavors. So it was like basically the FDA just took all my reason for getting involved out of my hands. But as of late, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to have some fun. I'm going to develop some new flavors. If something takes off, it takes off. I don't have a social media presence. I don't have a marketing presence. I don't give a fuck.
You are live on YouTube right now, though.
I know. I don't care. I don't care. You know what? If our few hundred viewers, one of our few hundred viewers wants to drop a dime on me, let them. I have a day job.
What if the Russians hack this cast right now and send it directly to the FDA?
There it is.
Think of that, did you, Jay? Nope.
There it is.
I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying. Do I advocate that people intentionally break the law? No, I don't. But I mean, sometimes you have to test. There has to be test cases, and I don't think that anything that the FDA done is constitutional. So, if it were me and I were a manufacturer, I'd keep right the fuck on doing what I was doing. If they want to take me to court, take me to court. I'll be the test case. That's the way I would look at it.
Yep.
Well, I think if it kind of depends on. I think a lot of people are sitting back waiting to see what happens to the people that are doing it.
Right.
And 6 months into the year, if all of a sudden the FDA hasn't cracked down on anyone, you're going to see like the floodgates are going to open.
Well,
and the worst thing that's going to happen, is my customers, all 10 shops or whatever, are going to have to pull, a few hundred bottles off the shelves. Wah.
yeah, but for a larger manufacturer, that would become a bigger and more costly issue.
Right, it's a bigger deal for a larger manufacturer. But for me, where my bread and butter is being able to pump out new flavors relatively quickly, because smaller companies are more nimble.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal for me.
Yeah, and don't forget that they did this stuff to cigars too. And I mean, they did. They put these types of rules in place with in the cigarette industry, and it was easy to regulate, obviously, because it's just a few big ass companies. I really don't think that they even knew what they were getting themselves into.
Someone just mentioned the whole MasterCard shit. Yeah. So VCC Liquids, we use probably what 80% of the industry uses Bank Card USA, and they sent me an email a few weeks ago. And again, we're like Jay, we're not in a whole lot of shops, and we haven't gotten big or anything like that yet. I mean, if anyone wants to carry it, by all means, hit me up. Which is a phrase that I hate, by the way. I can't believe I just said that. But anyway, so they sent me a thing that said, oh, by the way, at the end of the year, we'll be including in your bill a $500 charge to go to MasterCard because of their policy. And I was like, no, you won't. I'll either drop you guys and use Square or something, because I'm not paying $500 a MasterCard. So we had to rewrite it and take MasterCard out.
Gotcha.
So yeah, fuck MasterCard.
Yeah, fuck MasterCard. But it's MasterCard and Visa.
And Visa.
Well, they only told me that MasterCard was charging me $500, so I told them to take MasterCard out of it. I think, doesn't MasterCard own Visa? I think MasterCard Visa are the same company. Well, we still accept Visa at
I don't know. I could be wrong.
but just
It
not
could be
MasterCard.
wrong.
Actually, I probably need to
But
put up a
don't-
logo or something.
Yeah, and you can't use Square. Square doesn't like vape stuff at all.
Really? I use
Goes
Square.
against their terms. Do
I
you
don't-
use Square?
I don't think
I
that they
do
would
use
know.
Square. Not often,
Yeah.
but I use it.
Yeah, they don't.
But what
Go
I
ahead.
do though, I don't have like all my products in Square. I write up my invoice in QuickBooks, and then email that along with the Square invoice. So
Mhm.
nothing in Square really says anything about e-cigs.
Right. The only experience I have with it is I know when Ruby opened up RubyCrewShop.com, she used Square, and because she had MTurk's alien coils on her site, they sent her a warning and said, "We don't allow selling of tobacco products. We're going to cancel your site in 24 hours if you don't do this, 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 and this." So she had to take the coils, MTurk's alien coils, off of her site, and Square was like, "Oh, okay, you're fine now because you're just selling T-shirts." But because of the coils being a
so
tobacco product, they wouldn't support her site.
So was that Squarespace or was that the Square like?
Sorry, yeah, Squarespace.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
talking about
Squarespace
Square.
is like for websites, building
Right.
websites.
I
Square
thought,
is like
I thought you meant Square like the
Right.
Square
Sorry.
Register,
no,
it's called.
Squarespace.
That's the app.
whatever that's called. Yeah.
I know a lot of
Is that-
vendors use Square at events too.
Because the Hingham Hill website is a Squarespace site, but I don't sell on the site. It's literally just informational.
Oh.
Ah,
Bill Tarling said today vapors lost a fight to lift restrictions on electronic cigarettes in New York City after a court upheld the constitutionality of treating vaping like smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
This is one of the things that I had when I heard about this event that's going on in Brooklyn in early March, the same weekend as ECC VPX in Detroit. Because I've checked everywhere I could think of to do an event in New York. In fact, when we did VCCNE, that's where I wanted to go originally in the Northeast was New York. And I couldn't find anywhere that would allow us to vape inside. So how they've gotten this I don't know if they got a waiver or something to do this in Brooklyn. I'm not really sure how how they're able to vape indoors, but hopefully they've checked it all out and done everything that they need to do and done their due diligence, because I'd hate for another something like New Jersey to happen. But
Yeah, that would be pretty rough. I would have to say it has to be either the hotel doesn't know, the convention center
it's a
doesn't
convention
know.
hall in Brooklyn. I mean, I would.
Yeah. The only way to get around it that I can see is that they are not aware, and it's
Or maybe they
borderline.
did get a waiver or something. I don't
Is
know.
there some kind of permit you can get? For...
I'm guessing that. I mean, I think it's the same people that do the VAP Expo in France, and I've heard that they're very professionally ran. So I'm assuming that they've checked into it and
We're from France.
done the right way. Well, I've always been, and again, maybe I need to loosen up my own policies, because my policies are, probably losing me some money. I don't charge people admission because I don't want to turn away smokers that come into the event, and I'm losing money there. I don't want to, even if a city were to say, yeah, we don't allow vaping indoors, but we'll give you a permit, like a variance or whatever to do the event. I've had cities tell me that before for the VCC events, and I tell them, no, thank you. Well, why would I want to bring business to your economy and you don't support us on a daily basis?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I know it's a big thing to want to do New York, but you're bringing money into, again, an economy that's fucking vapors on a daily basis, and
That's why you're doing about as well as I am business wise, because
Principles.
we have too many principles and
Yeah.
scruples to, like, I don't know.
yeah. I wish people appreciated it more, but I don't know. I think New York would be a great place to do an event. There's a lot of people that live in, like a million. Like, how many people live in the New York City area? 17 million or something like that.
Yeah.
Too
And,
many.
That's a lot of smokers to be reached for sure. So, yeah.
God, I hate New York.
They're almost
I
as
like
bad
New
as
York.
Massachusetts.
I was vaping all over that city.
Yeah, I like
I
the
mean,
city
not like
itself.
indoors, but
I like Long
yeah,
Island.
that's-
I like Long Island. I'm not a big city guy. I hate cities. Like, I hate Boston too. So I'm
I
not
like cities.
prejudiced.
Yeah, Mike Vape says there's going to be a lot of issues in Brooklyn with that convention. I
I will not go.
I don't know.
There's a convention in Brooklyn. What did I miss?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Ruby texted me, and I kind of caught like the last of it.
Yeah, the same people that are doing
Sorry.
I think the same people that do the VAP Expo or whatever in Paris are doing one in Brooklyn, and we were just talking
We're from
about
France.
how did they get that to,
Oh,
to
right,
happen.
right, okay. I'm all caught up. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I have to add. I don't know how that's going to happen.
I wish
Have some
Ruby
more
would text
smooth
me and
antler.
take my mind off things for a minute. Come on, Ruby. Get with it.
I'll tell her. I'll be like, hey, text
when is
Kevin.
Florida's Vape Convention in Tampa? We are doing VCCT 17, March 25th and 26th at the Florida State Fairgrounds. You can find info at vapingcc.com.
If I get laid off, maybe I'll go.
If you get laid,
Didn't you just get a
What?
new job?
you broke up.
Laid off. Laid off.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Yes, I did just get a new job, but my last, well, not my last, but three places of employment over the last 4 years have laid me off. It's the economy, stupid.
Oh, I forgot to
Stupid
mention too at the beginning of the show, and we're kind of 3/4 of the way through it now. But if you're watching and you haven't hit the like button yet, please make sure you do that. And also, when we get the rendered version this time, not blocked by YouTube because of a no sound clip from a movie, which I had to re-render and re-upload, and we lost a ton of views and likes and stuff. But anyway, when that gets rendered and put back up, if you would share the link, I'd appreciate that.
Yes, and somebody mentioned in the chat, they asked if we were no longer on Smoke Free Radio. Yes, we are, but because of the snafu last week, I missed my timing window to get the upload over to Dimitri.
And he's out of I think he's in China or something now, right?
Yeah, so sometimes the upload takes an extra long period of time. I promise I will get tonight's upload over to Dimitri as soon as possible.
Yeah, for all of the stellar information we're putting out
I
tonight.
think we need to have Bill Tarling just be like a fifth member of the show. He's done all the
Bill, can you do the research
legwork
and
today.
development for us?
We should call him in next week. Let's
and
call him
just-
in next week.
And just
just write up an outline for us.
yeah, that's fantastic. Rob says Nick puts his video on
Welcome.
loop like he's doing a bank heist and then pops back in. That's pretty funny.
Yeah, that's exactly it. See, I can just sit here. I can just sit here nodding.
You have an alibi for anything you want to do. Just sit here like this.
And it's like a loop, like Speed. Remember Speed?
Yeah.
Like Speed.
Kevin, you need to, if you want like a zero regulation place, you need to do a show up here in Montana. You could do like an outdoor one in the summer. We can bring some tanks and blow shit up at the same time.
That sounds
Fucking-
incredible.
Guns,
We could
all
allow sheep
kinds
in
of
for
stuff.
free.
do whatever we want.
I'm game for that. I'll take a
Sweet.
week off for that.
I don't know. We're doing one event at a time right now. We'll see how Tampa goes, and then we'll decide if we're going to do something after.
Pop quiz hot shot. That's a good one.
Okay, yeah, you're the wildcat. That was another.
Oh, any questions in chat? We might end it a few minutes early. I need to go take some NyQuil. I know I look breezy and happy, but I feel like shit.
We need more PNW vape meets. What does that mean? What's
Pacific
Pacific
Northwest,
Northwest.
and I've
Oh,
checked
Pacific-
everywhere in
oh,
the Pacific Northwest
Seattle?
you can think of, and there's no convention hall anyway. Again, maybe I'll loosen my standards and
I
we'll
think-
look at a resort or something. But
There's
You could
There's
probably
some,
get Pearl Jam.
there's some reservations that have really nice resorts and stuff out there that are like an hour away from Seattle.
okay, well maybe that's something to look into. I know for a fact King County you can't vape anywhere inside, so it would have to be outside of King County.
Yeah.
Same thing with Tacoma. But yeah, I would love to do a Pacific Northwest one. I think that'd be great. But by the time I announce it, there'll be 10 more there, so who knows?
Not bitter.
No, not bitter. That's factual. It's the truth. I wish it was bitter. No, the Brooklyn event I think is the first weekend of March, the same weekend as ECC VPX, or I guess they dropped the VPX, but ECC in Detroit is the same weekend, March 3rd or something.
Yeah.
And then there's one that's going on in the South as well, the same weekend as Tampa. So yeah,
I can't believe they're still going that heavy. I can't believe it.
and then there's one the next month I think in the Carolinas. So yeah, we'll see.
And there's one in New England in May.
Tampa is March 25th and 26th, Rob. right, cool. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up a few minutes early. Any closing thoughts, Jay?
I got nothing.
You got nothing, Nick?
No. Battery safety.
You know,
Buy plastic cases for your batteries.
You know, when you're passing notes in class and the teacher makes you read it out loud, I think you should have to read Ruby's text to everyone.
No, bro.
Matt, any closing thoughts besides those dishes you're about to be doing?
Yeah, I know. That's not going to be good. Keep it real. Keep killing the vape game.
Keep killing it. Keep killing the game.
Stop kidnapping white
2017. I'm excited for 2017.
I'm excited for it too. I really am. Things I'm looking up.
Maybe I'm an eternal optimist, but I just don't feel like it could be as bad as 2016. I got to knock on wood now. Hold on.
Don't even say that.
Yeah.
No, we need the
knock on
mentality.
Somebody's gonna save this clip and just fucking make me eat crow.
We need to change that mentality and get it back around to what made us where we are in this industry.
I do feel good about 2017. I definitely have a happier outlook.
We have 40 million.
2016 was a shitty year for a lot of people, not just the vape world. There's a lot of freaking people died. I mean, it's just like,
oh my god, I'm so sad that you just brought that up. You know what? I'm going to go on a short rant here. People die every day just because they had a little bit of notoriety, and I'm sorry if
but
it
not
offends
just
anybody.
famous people, but also people that I knew personally too. Like it seemed like there was just a lot of freaking.
Well, I know, but a lot of people make a big deal about the celebrities that died in 2016. Are they any more important than the 1,400 people that died today from smoking? No, they're not. They just got some fame.
Well,
good for them.
Yeah, but I mean, Ruby Brew and I had the same argument. If you want to run long on the broadcast,
yeah, we got 8 more minutes. Let's go.
Certain people with notoriety, as you say, or celebrities, they are an influence on people, especially people that you grew up with. When David Bowie died, it was sad, but I'm not a huge David Bowie fan, so I kind of went, okay, I mean, yeah, that's sad, but ultimately, I'm not a huge David Bowie fan, so this affects me zero. Then when Carrie Fisher died, she was someone that I grew up with. She was part of my childhood, and she had a pretty profound impact on me. And so that was really sad. Like
lots of Kleenex and lotion.
I was genuinely sad when she died. And yes, I'm sure the guy down the block whose grandmother just died, that is very sad, but that affects me very little than someone who's had an impact on my life.
Well, and then the fact that her mom died the next day. I mean, that is just, I mean, that's just a gut-wrenching kind of, like, but also like poetic in a way. Like, it's just, it's a story that just hits you right in the feels, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of feels. And so, there's a lot of celebrity worship, and there's a lot of people that when David Bowie died, they suddenly became the world's biggest David Bowie fans. And I'm like, knock it off, because you didn't listen to David Bowie. You liar person.
It definitely affects more people. I mean, it's not that they were, people are people. It's sad no matter what.
I think it affects more people to a lesser extent. But to the kid who lost his father to lung cancer or a heart attack because of 20 years of combustible cigarette use, I mean, I think that's infinitely more sad in my opinion, because they are going to have children and grandchildren and stuff without a grandfather or a father, and that to me is. Yeah, it's sad when celebrities die, but I mean, it affects more people on a lesser level. But I guess I tend to focus more on humans in general. I guess I don't know.
Well, I mean, we're just talking death as a whole.
Here's the difference. When you think about the 1,400 people that die every day, from smoking. If you were to actually concentrate on that and cry about it every night, you'd drive yourself insane.
It's what it drives me to stay involved in the vaping industry, for sure. It does.
It absolutely does. And your example of little 14-year-old kid whose dad died, that's probably really sad for that kid. I mean, intensely sad for that kid.
Right.
So there's no way that you could go up to that kid and be like, well, this guy died too. Why don't you feel as sad about this guy as you do about your dad? It's because his dad meant way more to him than the other guy.
Yeah, but I can directly impact what happens with vaping regulations in the vaping industry. I can't directly impact whether or not David Bowie's
No,
going to die.
That's not what this
understand what you're
conversation's
saying.
about, though. I
Yeah,
mean, we're just
I
talking
completely-
death in general.
Or to
Yeah.
her person.
I can't
talking
understand
about-
the word you're saying, dude.
We were talking about celebrities with notoriety being less or being equally as important as
Well, yeah,
the
they're not to the
person.
masses, I guess.
Yeah,
but-
I didn't lose sleep over Carrie Fisher's death, but yes,
Right, I did not.
I saw the post and I was like, oh no,
Yeah.
it definitely
genuinely
affected.
sad.
Well, and again, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. People become statistics, and you hear the 1,400 people a day. But I mean, I've never been to a hospital, to a cancer unit, and visited people who were dying from lung cancer because of cigarettes. Maybe that would shed
Right.
some more light onto it. Maybe I should. I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's sad shit every day. Listening to Vanessa's stories.
Yeah.
I mean,
She has
It's
a
just
nurse
horrible.
probably sees it firsthand. I'm sure she does.
car accidents, and a 20-year-old dies and his parents come in heartbroken. It's just, there's crap like that every day, not just with tobacco. I mean, that's just one
Yeah,
of
I
them,
know.
but it's awful. Life is tragic.
Life is
Bottom-
tragic, but this is something that we can help control. And
Yeah.
that's why we always say get involved, because
Yeah.
it's not just a hobby. I mean, to some people it is just a hobby. For some people it's just a way to not smoke anymore. For me, it's I think that we can change mankind for the better, and that's why I do what I do.
Amen.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I agree.
And on that note,
Good.
I'm
Now
glad
can we go and talk
went
about
the last
breeze?
8 minutes. It ended up being a really good part of the show, I think. So
Yeah, that was solid.
Now I'm a little depressed, but
I'm not. I'm actually a little bit more motivated. Sometimes I go on these cycles, and I'm sure you guys do too, where you're like, why am I still doing this? And then, but then it all comes back to the same thing. I mean, there's so many more millions of people that we can help, and if we keep that in mind, I think it acts as a little bit of a motivator. So. Anyway, with that said, make sure you smash the like button before we end the broadcast. Make sure you share the link when the replay gets rendered. We look forward to next week. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit more of a plan and some actual content, and won't be coming off of New Year. So, yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in.
Yeah,
We
absolutely.
thank you for the input during the episode. Remember, you don't have to do everything. You do have to do something. Get involved.